Welcome to homework.
So Consolidated Minerals owns the right to extract minerals from beach sands on Fraser Island, and it has cost in three areas. And we're given the three areas, and then they're currently mining 180 tons of beach sands per day for 25 days per month. And the first question was us to find the variable cost per ton of beach sand mined on the fixed cost to cm the consolidated minerals per month. So we're starting with that. So the variable cost per ton of beach sand would be the payments to subcontractor, like the question gave us, and this is $80. Then the payment of government tax, and this is $50. So the total variable cost per ton is $130. Now the other part of the question wants us to find the fixed cost per month. So the fixed cost per month is the payment to the batch operator, and this is from the question is 300,000, and this is because the CM is currently mining 180 tons of sand per day. So moving on to question 2. Plot a graph of the variable costs and another graph of the fixed cost of the CM, and your graph should be similar to exhibit 2.3, 2.4, and is the concept of relevant range applicable to your graphs, and explain. So we'll be doing the second question. So the variable cost graph should look like this. So it should look like this. And this is your cost. This side is your tons of beach sand. And here we have 13,000, 26,000, and 31,000. And then here we have points 100, 200, and 300. So the graph should touch the point 100 on the x and 13,000 on the y-axis, and then this point, and then the intersection of this point. And this graph is going to be a straight line between them. Oh my. So it should be a straight line, but it might look curved right now. I'm sorry. But this is what the variable cost graph should look like. And then I'll be drawing the fixed cost graph just beside it. So the tons of beach sand should be right here. And then this side is the fixed cost. in dollars. And then we have 150,000. We have 300,000. And then we have 450,000. And here we have 100, 200, and 300. So the graph comes here all the way to 100, then goes up all the way to 300, then goes straight down to 200, and goes up all the way to 400, 450, and goes straight all the way to 300 on the x-axis. So this is what the fixed cost graph looks like. So here we can tell that the relevant range is the anticipated activity cost level at which you perform, and the cost behavior changes because of the change in fixed cost. So when the volume increases to a certain point, the fixed cost will have to be added. And yes, the variable cost, the variable range, the relevant range concept applicable as the fixed cost changes in response to the mining. So as per the question, is the concept of relevant range applicable to the graph? Yes. The relevant range concept is applicable as the fixed cost changes is response to mining of the sand. In terms of tons. So that's the answer for that question. Now moving on to the third question. This question has two parts, and the first part the question says, what is the unit cost per ton of beach sand? One, if 180 tons are mined each day, and if 220 tons are mined each day, and explain the difference in the unit cost figures. So if 180 tons are mined each day, the output would be, to solve this, the payment, first of all, the payment to the contractor would be 180 multiplied by 80 cost, $80 each, and this will give you 14,400. Then we have the payment to government taxes, and this is 180 multiplied by $50, and this will give you $9,000. Now the next one is the payments to barge operator, and this is 300,000 divided by 25, and this is 12,000. So now the total cost will be 35,400. This is the total cost. Now therefore, the unit per cost, which is what we want, the unit cost per ton rather, would be 35,400 divided by the 180 we're given, and then this will be $196.67. Now the second part of the question, if 220 tons are mined each day. So the payments will do it the same way. The payments to contractor would be 220 multiplied by $80. Then we're gonna have 17,600. Then the payments of government taxes, and this is 220 multiplied by $50, and this is 11,000. Then we have payment to badge operators, and this is 450,000 divided by 25, and this gives you 18,000. And therefore the total cost is the addition, which is 46,600. Now to find the unit cost per ton, is equal to 46,600 divided by 220 units, 220 tons rather, and this is going to give you $211.82. So the difference between the units per tons for 180 units and 220 is 211.82 minus 196.7, and the difference is $15.15. And this difference is the unit cost that is due to change in fixed cost. So, and this is similar to the first one, the first question where we did 300,000 are paid to the operator, and the second which 450,000 are paid. So this is the difference in them.